ChatGPT is a modern-day yokai. Don't just take it from me. This is the opinion of Dr. Masanobu Kagawa, the chief curator at the Hyogo Prefectural Museum of History, and Japan's leading expert on yokai. In fact, some outlets even refer to Kagawa as Dr. Yokai. Recently, Kagawa had an interview with the Asahi Shimbun, one of Japan's leading newspapers, to explain what he means. So, in this video, we are going to break down parts of that interview and ask ourselves, is ChatGPT really a yokai? Of course, when asking this question, it is imperative that we establish what a yokai is. So, let's do that. In the interview, Kagawa explains that a key aspect of yokai is that they don't actually exist. They are created as answers when people are confronted with something that they can't explain. In his own words, yokai are fantasies, and what makes them yokai is that they don't exist. If they existed, they'd just be rare animals. A perfect example of this is the phenomenon of echoes. Before humans had a more scientific understanding of sound, they didn't know why their voice would echo back to them when they shouted in the mountains. So, their explanation was yokai. In this case, Kodama or Yamabiko. Kagawa is not the only person that takes this view of yokai. Mizuki Shigeru, the creator of Gegege no Kitaro, arguably the most famous anime about yokai, believes that anything that cannot readily be understood or explained, anything mysterious and unconfirmed, can be a yokai. Similarly, Michael Dillon Foster, the most prominent scholar of yokai in the West, writes that yokai can be classified as any unexplainable experience or numerous occurrence. Now, let's take a look at ChatGPT and highly advanced chatbots in general. These AI have become so complicated that most people have no clue how they actually work. In fact, even highly educated engineers seem to not fully understand the technology that they have played a part in creating. For example, Blake Lemoine, a former senior software engineer at Google, claimed that Lambda, another highly advanced chatbot, is sentient. To him, Lambda is a phenomenon unexplainable by just mindless code. It has something more. It has sentience. Regardless of your stance in the chatbot sentience debate, the fact that the debate exists at all shows that many people are personifying a phenomenon that they can't explain, the exact definition of a yokai. Just like people of the past would personify echoes as spirits, we today are doing the exact same thing with advanced AI, like ChatGPT. Later in the interview, Kagawa says, ChatGPT, a generative AI service, is quite similar to yokai, isn't it? It acts like a human, and gives responses like those prepared by humans. It is disguised as a person, but actually, it is not a human at all, and you can't tell the difference. Don't you find that scary? This aspect, the non-human disguised as a human, is another common theme among yokai. Kitsune and Tanuki are both known to regularly shapeshift into humans, while yokai such as the Rokurokubi appear completely human during the day and only reveal their monstrous traits at night. In this way too, ChatGPT and other AI like it continue this yokai tradition. Near the end of the interview, Kagawa is asked, where can we find yokai in modern times? His answer? On the internet. I'll let him explain. If there are yokai now, I think they are found in the internet. After all, they occupy the world of ideas. As our means of communication continues to change from spoken words to printed text and to the internet, yokai also change their forms. Yokai don't exist for real, so they can only live in the world of media because they are merely information. Previously, stories of yokai spread by word of mouth. Rumors spread across towns and regions, gradually changing over time. Kagawa argues that the internet now plays this role. Instead of telling your neighbors about the spooky sound you heard in the forest, you can now discuss your experience on social media for the whole world to see, creating a hyper-accelerated landscape of yokai formation. However, these new internet yokai will not resemble the yokai of the past. We live in a different era, where people are much less apt to believe that you saw a shape-shifting fox in the woods, or witnessed a green humanoid monster emerge from a river. Instead, we can look to the theories about chatbot sentience as an example of the new direction yokai are heading. As our knowledge advances, we understand more about the natural world, but we understand less about our own technology due to its increasingly complex design. At their core, yokai are cultural symbols. They are constantly changing in form and function because the culture around them is changing as well. Kappa used to be viewed as incredibly dangerous river spirits, the type of spirit that a parent could use to scare their child into staying away from a potentially dangerous, fast-flowing river. More recently, kappa have been used as a means to critique Japanese work culture in the anime Gegege no Kitaro. This moment in history is no different. It is the next step in a long path of change. Addressing the fears and anxieties that the rapid pace of AI development has caused, I think it makes perfect sense that we should call ChatGPT a yokai. After all, Kagawa explains that labeling something a yokai is meant to help us relieve stress about the unknown things in the world. He writes, "There are unexplained phenomena that happen sometimes in this world. We humans can't stand chaotic situations that don't make sense to us, so we provide our own explanations by saying it was the work of a yokai, and feel relieved, at least temporarily." Well, what do you think? Is the case strong enough to give ChatGPT the yokai label? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.